Good snacks in here. I missed. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys have had a great spring so far. Hopefully you've been out on the water. It's hard to believe that March is over already. Just a couple days, we're going to be into April already, and that's what we're going to talk about here today is some top baits for April bass fishing. You know, April is one of my favorite months for bass fishing. It's really good anywhere you go in the country. I mean, you could fish from Florida as far south as you can go to really as far north as you can go, and you can catch a bass in the month of April. So the April month is really exciting for me because the fish are really doing so many different things. They're really starting to move shallow in most of the country. They're starting to spawn. So we're going to dive in, talk about a few of my favorite baits for April bass fishing. All right, guys, so if you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate that. I see all you new subscribers. I see the channel grow, and I really appreciate everyone hitting the subscribe button. You know, we're really trying to grow this channel. We're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, and I really just want to help you guys catch more bass. That's the goal of this entire channel, is to do this right here and just catch more bass. That's what I want to help you guys do with my YouTube channel. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and all you guys hitting that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, and I see you all in the comments for sure. All right, so let's jump in. April bass fishing. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, they are the bass are very much moving shallow. The days are getting longer. That sun is warm. You know, even if the temperature is still a little chilly, whenever that sunshine is out, it's very warm. You can feel it on your skin, and it's warming up that water, and those bass know that. So they start rising up off the bottom a little bit and getting closer to that surface to kind of absorb some of that sunlight and feel that warmth. So the number one bait, probably for all year, but definitely for the month of April, is the good old Yamamoto Senko. I'm gonna keep this bulk pack in my boat, and I bet you I go through this whole pack in the month of April. I mean, all they do is they love eating Senkos in the month of April. And there's a couple reasons for that. You know, there's no wrong way to fish a Senko. You can fish it Texas rig. You can fish it weightless on a, you know, Texas rig style. You can fish it wacky style. And it has such a great action on the fall weightless. If you have it on a Texas rig, you know, it kind of just glides down nose first. Wacky rig, it does a little bit of all that. You know, it has a very unique action in the middle. But, you know, some of the reasons why a wacky worm or a Senko works so good in April is, like I just mentioned, those bass aren't really always on the bottom. So sometimes they're rised up close to the surface. Even sometimes they start spawning. They may make their nest on the bottom, but sometimes those fish will rise up a little bit to get in that sun. So they're not actually sitting on the bottom. So if you flip a Texas rig or you know, a jig or something that goes straight to the bottom, you might not catch some of those fish. So that's when the Senko comes into play, where it just kind of slowly falls right in front of their face and they can't stand it. So Senko, definitely a must-have in your boat in the month of April. Now, as far as colors, let's see. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a watermelon red. I mean, that's your good clear water color. That's probably my number one go-to, would be a watermelon red 5-inch Senko, just for, you know, it really looks like a bluegill. And if those fish are around the bed, they're shallow, they're trying to spawn. Bluegill is one of their primary forages or defenses, what they're defending from. So anything that looks like a bluegill is great. Next up, let's see, let me grab one right off the wall of Yamamoto here. This will be for your little bit dirtier water. I'd go with this color right here. And this is my exclusive color with Fish USA, and it's Becker's Black Magic. So it's a black and blue with silver flake. So you can see that silver flake really flashes. And you know, it's a dark profile. So for your little bit muddier water, you want to try something different. the 5-inch Becker's Black Magic Senko. This is only available at Fish USA, so there'll be a link in the description down below. If you want to check these out, you can head right over to Fish USA, but these are only available at Fish USA, so if you want to try this color, you'll have to head over there. But you know, a black and blue, any sort of black and blue, dark, so I either go watermelon red or I go a dark color, you know, black and blue, Becker's Black Magic, bruised shin. That's another good color I like. It's more of a laminate style color, but I like those dark bluish colors for more of that dirty or darkish water. But hard to beat a Senko, and you got to be throwing it this April. So next up, let's go. This is more so your shallow fishing as well, but typically I like fishing this bait around grass. You know, anytime there's grass and you're fishing shallow grass in the month of April, you got to be throwing a soft plastic jerkbait like this right here with the Yamamoto D-Shad. So it's the same reasoning as throwing the Senko. You know, the D-Shad is a soft plastic jerkbait style bait, but I'm trying to imitate a bluegill with this. So I'm going with bluegill colors, and it's just that profile right there, you know, a little bit more rounder than the Senko. It's still heavy and dense like the Senko, so it sinks really fast and kind of shimmies on the fall. But you're able to twitch this and it darts side to side a lot more than a Senko does, so you can fish it a lot faster and cover more water and twitch it and kind of keep it close to the surface. So watermelon red's always a good color, and then this is another great color around those bluegill. What's this one called? Houdini 2. So you can see it's a pretty bright color. Got a lot of flash in it, got some gold glitter, some red, kind of a pearlish silver belly. Beautiful bluegill imitator right there. But like I said, hard to beat any kind of soft plastic jerkbait, but I really like the D-Shad because of how heavy it is. You can cast it really far on bait casting rod and really use a heavier rod to stick those fish. So I really like using this on just a round bend style hook. So this is the Trokar TK105. It's the Pro V worm hook. I like the 4/0 size, maybe even the 5/0 size, depending on where you're fishing. And then you just rig this up weightless, Texas rig style. And with this hook, it keeps it pegged in there nice. And I really like that Pro V bend. You see that Trokar Pro V bend right there? It really locks those fish in once they get hooked on this bait. So you can see it's extremely weedless. You can throw this through any type of heavy cover. And like I said, it kind of shimmies on the fall just like a Senko, but you're able to twitch it and move it a lot faster. And it targets those fish that aren't necessarily sitting on the bottom, and they're not necessarily on the surface. It's kind of those suspended shallow fish that are up there sunning, and they love eating the soft plastic jerkbait. So that's another bait that you gotta be throwing in the month of April. All right, I mean, I could name every bait in my tackle box to catch a bass in the month of April, but I'm just gonna keep this video to 3 baits, my top 3 for the month of April. We've been through the Senko, we've been through the D-Shad. Now let's go to the bait that you can cover a lot of water quickly with and catch some really big ones that are not quite spawning yet, and that's gonna be old Maggie. Let's go with the magdraft. This is the 6-inch magdraft. You know, match the color to your water clarity. So I think this one is albino pearl shad. Another one I like is, this one's a little dirty, but it's, what is that one called? Whiteback shad, I believe. It's pretty dirty. We're gonna have to throw him out. But anyway, the magdraft, it's a super slow rolling bait. You know, that tail just kicks and the head rolls and wobbles. So this is a very visual bait. So you're fishing this very close to the surface and you're gonna see a lot of the bites. So this is excellent for, you know, fish that are staging or very close to spawning. Again, that are up high in that water column, whether they're under dock floats, you know, around brush piles, lay downs, that type of stuff, where they're not all the way deep down on the bottom, and you can just kind of crawl this thing and you'll catch some of the biggest fish in the lake in the month of April on the old magdraft. So like I said, I like the 6-inch size. It gets a lot of bites, and you know, it's not too big for a 2-pounder. Like a 2-pounder will still eat that, but you can catch up to 6, 7, 8-pounders on the 6-inch. So that's why I choose to go with that. But that right there, that's gonna do it. That's my top baits for the month of April. Hopefully you guys learned something. Like I said, check the links in the description down below to head right over to fishusa.com and check out all these baits. Pick you up some Becker's Black Magic Senkos or any Senkos, any type of baits. You know, Fish USA has a full selection of tackle, and you know, they see when you guys click on those links, and it really helps the channel and lets them know that you guys appreciate what we're doing here. So if you guys could do me a favor and just make sure you're clicking those links and buying all your tackle through that, that would greatly help me out and help the channel. So appreciate you guys watching. Leave me those comments down below. Get out and catch some bass this April. The bass are going to be biting. So appreciate you guys watching, and see you guys next time.